Good morning, everyone, or whenever you are watching. Welcome to this little switch it up. Today, we're doing Pilates mat work with the Bala circles, and just to change it up on this Friday, I got a triangle too, because why not? Shapes are fun. You can find links to all of these in the notes of the class if you're interested. The triangle's from Amazon, Bala is from Bala, and the mat is also from Bala. It is I love it actually, it's very comfortable. But today felt like a good day to stretch it out towards the end of the week. So whether you're joining me live or in the future, I hope you enjoy a little core connection, a little control, a little bit of just reconnecting to yourself. So let us start at the edge of our mat. As always, you can use dumbbells, you can use no weights at all, you can hold your hands as if they're using the weights. Sometimes fists can provide the tension we need, but we're gonna start just with some body movement right now. So legs about hip width distance apart. Let's just unlock the knees, stand really tall, and then lift your arms all the way up overhead, reaching to the sky, waving to that Chicago L train, and then press your arms all the way down. And as you do, bring your shoulders down in your back and take a little lift of your chest. We'll do that 2 more times, just reaching through. Big breath in, pressing your arms down, little elevation of your chest as your shoulders come down in your back. Last time, big breath in. I'm avidly watching for the Santa train to come by because it's right about now and it'll come right by my window. So if I freak out, you'll know it's Santa. Let's reach it up. Good. Stay here for a moment. Start to take a roll down, just letting your chin come towards your throat, rounding your upper back, reaching your arms down to the mat. Let's bend and stretch our knees down nice and deep, and then lift your hips up. Let your head pour forward. Again, bend your knees. And as you exhale, feel your spine lengthening towards the mat. One more time, bend your knees. And stretch all the way up. Keep your knees slightly unlocked as you curl your tailbone under. Feel that imaginary zipper on the front of your pelvis pulling all the way up through the center. Come up through the spine. Find your alignment as long and lengthened as you can, and let's go one more time to take us down to the mat. Big breath in, arms reach up. And we curl it forward, rounding over, coming all the way down. Let's bend our knees down and stretch it up. I just like to always start by waking up my hamstrings, bend them again. Let that head pour forward. Let anything you don't need to be thinking about right now just spill out of your brain. Last one. Good. We're gonna walk out to a plank just for a moment. Just walk out like big, heavy tiger paws on the mat. Find that long, lengthened position. Lower your knees if you need to. Let's pike our hips up, lifting all the way up to that diagonal line with your body, and then pressing forward. Chest shines through your shoulders. Let's do it again. Lift your hips up. Big breath in. And then reach forward into your plank, coming down to your knees if you need to. 2 more times, just warming up our shoulder girdle, warming up our hips, opening up our calves. Press it forward. Good, let's do our last one here. We reach up, tailbone lifts a little higher. Hold it here for a moment. Lift your heels and then pedal out your feet just to stretch the bottoms of your feet, the backs of your calves, pushing heavily into your arms. For 4 and 3, 2 and 1. Lift both heels up and then come forward into your plank one last time. Let's lower down onto your knees, untuck your toes. Knees go wide to the sides of your mat and just enjoy a little rest pose. Be sure to let your abdomen release in this position and take a big belly breath. Exhale fully, just giving ourselves a chance to feel our stretch and our space that we take up. Good. From here, reach both hands to the right side of your mat. Send your hips to the left side of your mat. Let's open up that side body. We've got a lot of core work to do today, so I want to make sure we're nice and open for it. Let's switch sides. Reaching and stretching. Yes. Good. Let's come all the way back up on hands and knees. Bring your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Let's take a little cat-cow, rounding the spine, lifting your abdomen up and then reaching through. Shoulders come down in the back, lifting your tail up in the opposite direction. We'll go a couple more times, rounding. Front of ribs comes up to back of ribs. Reaching all the way through, getting some good spinal mobility here today. Good morning, mommy. I see you. See that little heart? Keeps me going. Good. All right, everybody, let's find our flat back. Once you're here, just take a little lift of the front ribs. This is one of the easiest ways you can connect your front body to your back body. Just a little bit of a lift of your front ribs to your back ribs. We're gonna thread the needle. One more stretch here. So open up your front arm, reach to the sky, and then we're gonna thread it all the way through. Reach as far as you can towards the back, and as you go down, if you can lower your shoulder all the way, wonderful. I don't have any weight on my head. It's my back arm that's helping to support me. I'm just reaching through with that arm. Good. And then push into your standing arm. Lift it all the way up. Good. Now from here, reach all the way forward. So palm up, bend your elbow and stretch. Sometimes that is just a beautiful stretch to get underneath your shoulder blade and your underarm. Breath in and out. And then let's press all the way up. And the last one, we're gonna do that back seat reach around. You know, for those of you who are parents, like consistently reaching in the back seat. So you go down and you dive through, and I want you to look towards the opposite direction. Sometimes that can be a really good one. Good. And then come all the way up and then bring it back down. Let's go to the other side. We'll reach it up and then we'll thread that needle through. Good. All the way through. It's a chilly day in Chicago. We got snow coming down. I don't know if you can see that right now. It's breaking up the monotony of simple gray, bringing a little white into play. I'll take it. Let's reach up all the way up to the sky. Good. And then we're gonna reach forward and the palm goes up, and just take that stretch of your underarm. This is one of my favorites. And if you're not feeling a super big stretch, that's all right. Let's reach up. Sometimes the places where I'm gonna feel a stretch are different than you. Let's reach in the back seat, turn your head in the opposite direction. Sometimes you're gonna feel a different stretch than me, right? Good. All right, come on up, reach it up, and come through. Okay, so we're gonna do one more little weighted shoulder warm up. I'll encourage you to choose a circle or a dumbbell that's significant, 5, 8, 10 pounds, something that you're gonna hold two hands, and if you're holding your dumbbell, you're just gonna hold it horizontally. If you're holding your circle, you're gonna bring it here. We're gonna press the hips forward and do just a little around the world. So we're coming from the chest over to the right shoulder, behind the head, over the left shoulder, and then back down to the chest. Now I want you to make sure you're not flowing in the wind. Let's go over to the left, behind the head, to the front, and there we go. Let's flow it a little bit. So just take it in a nice little circle all the way around. A good tempo to start. Really, what we're doing with our tissues and our fluids and our joints, it's, you know, when you're baking a cake and you pour the liquid into the batter and it's lumpy at the beginning. Well, that's me before I start moving. So this is the motion where we're trying to smooth out the lumps. We're trying to get a good amount of like silky, sweet, maybe chocolate goodness happening in your shoulder blades, yeah? Why not? Good, keep it going, keep it going. Yes. Couple more. Let's go one more each side. Good. All right, bring those arms all the way down. To finish, reconnect to the front body, press your legs back, lift your arms up, don't lean back, don't lean back, don't lean back, bring them all the way up over your head, and then slowly lower down. Good. Again, if you're wondering, where's the Pilates, Jenna? Don't you worry about it. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're warming up all the systems. If you are familiar at all with my class,
plan, we always have an activation phase. So we get into some of our functional systems, we get things online, we get joints ready for movement, we go into strength, stability, challenge, endurance, skill building. Then we reconcile at the end. Good. Here's our last one to lower all the way down. Excellent. All right, we have one more little activation exercise to do for our hamstrings. I'm gonna bring the smaller ring on the back of my leg. We're gonna hope that this works out the way that I intended to. So back down in hands and knees. I think it's gonna be a hot mess, but that's okay. We'll find it. So I'm gonna pull my heel towards my sit bone here, and I'm gonna safety. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make it a little safer so I don't drop it. All right, so I've got the 8-pound here. You can take a 5-pound dumbbell. If you're feeling really comfortable, an 8-pound is fine. And we're just gonna do a little hamstring lift and tap the circle down. So we're just lifting up and down. I wanna start to engage the back line of our legs, our glutes, our support system. If you don't have a circle, don't worry about it. Just do this movement without it and just think about pushing through resistance as you reach your foot up to the sky. Yes. Remember that little rib cage action, yeah? Just finding the support, front of ribs to back of ribs. Doing the best you can to feel equal weight through your 2 hands and your opposite knee and shin. It can be hard. You're automatically gonna be more weighted on the side with the weight. So you gotta really press down through that opposite arm to find it. Let's do one more. Bring it up, hold it up, and little pulses. Both of your hips are square to the ground right now. Lift, lift. Is it Santa? I don't know. I don't think it comes out. I don't think Santa does the commute in the morning. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good, bring it on down. Go ahead and carefully take that weight out from underneath. We gotta get creative, right? I thought it would be easier to hold in the way that I had it, but turns out. So we edit in the moment, and that's what I want you to do too. Make it work for yourself, okay? Let's find our stance. Let's lift the leg up and touch it down. Be mindful that you're really keeping your hips square to the mat. What does that mean? It means if you were to place a square right on the front of your pelvis, where you might wear bikini bottoms, let's say, then that square would be parallel to the floor. So you're not twisting the square as you lift the leg up. Yeah, that way we get a little more of the full scope of our hamstrings and our glutes. We keep it really focused, really mobile. Good. Let's go for 4 more. Breathing, continuing to look for that support. 2. Last one, hold it up there, little pulse, little pulse, little pulse, little pulse. Good, 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good, lower it all the way down. All right, let's take that weight out. We're gonna take it around. Change out, if you're using your rings, something a little heavier. I'm gonna actually bring them closer by so I can find them. We're gonna come onto our back for a little bridging activity. So I'm gonna use the triangle. Why not? Let's come on down to our back. We're gonna go into a glute bridge with the triangle. What's the difference between the triangle and the circle? Literally the shape. Feels the same, not same brand, same weight, all good. So I am thinking of pressing those hips straight up, lowering them down. So just kind of pulling everything together from what we just did in our glute work, finding it up, lowering it down. Good. We'll go for 4 more just like this. Check in with your big toe connection. So press the ball of the big toe against the floor, the inner edge of your heel, so we can find that inner thigh connection. Good. Last one. Lower the hips down, ground through your hips and ribs. Without arching your back, slowly take your weight back. It might just be a little bit before you feel your abdominals kick in. If you can go longer and farther, go for it. Deep breath in here, exhale to come back up. We're avoiding popping the back off the mat as we go. So let's try it again. Slowly reaching. Even if you're just using your arms to reach back towards your ears, The work comes from pressing through your ribs and your hips. It's not so much dependent on the weight. The weight should amplify the work that you're doing against the mat. Good. We're using the weight always just to turn up the volume on anything that we're working in terms of positioning or stability. Big breath in, big breath out, pull it all the way up. Good. All right, back into our bridges, but bend your elbows as you lift your hips up. Press up, lower down. So we're working a bit on a hip hinge, and just the control as you push your arms up. Find width through your shoulders, your collarbones, your back. Since normally I do teach a little lifting class here, I thought we'll integrate some more resistance exercises into our Pilates work. We'll get it all in, we'll feel good, and we'll lay down for most of it. Because sometimes on a Friday, you gotta lay down. Let's go 4 more here. My son calls Fridays Saturday Junior. He told me that today. So, Mommy, you know what Friday is? It's really just Saturday Junior. I said, yep, let's go. Last one, good, reach it up. All right, we're gonna do 1 more of these pullovers with our arms reaching back, so make sure your ribs and your hips are heavy. You have an option to level it up, which is gonna be to increase a little bit more challenge by bringing your legs to tabletop. Remember, the spotlight is on the positioning of your torso. So if your legs are up here and you automatically start to lose your connection, then maybe the legs down is a better choice for you. Let's do it. So we're going back, we're going back, we're going back. This is where breath is gonna come in, yes. So remember, we're breathing into the sides of the body. When you exhale, think of that front of rib cage to back of rib cage connection that can help you get back into it, yeah? Let's do it again. Good. Now, I'm gonna give you a little challenge here. If your legs are up with me, excellent, keep them there. If your legs aren't up, but you wanna try the challenge, I want you to keep your arms over your chest. Don't move the arms too much and just lift the legs up here and do the leg portion only. So your 2 options are reaching one leg out, pulling it back in, other leg out, pulling it back in, or doing that with the arms. So we're reaching long and then exhale to pull back in. Yes, the tension can sometimes stifle the breath. One of the things I do like about using these different shaped weights is that I can kind of adjust my wrists to engage different parts of my arms. So I'm kind of pointing straight back with that triangle here as I reach the leg in the opposite direction. I'm getting a little wrist work as I go, which is never a bad thing. If you're simply holding your hands over your chest, that's fine. Just keep it nice and mobile, breathing as you go. We're gonna go 4 more. Reach, good. 3, keep reaching front ribs to back ribs. Avoid the arch of the back. We're not pressing it flat necessarily, we're just keeping it still. Last one, pull it in. All right, let's rock ourselves all the way up. Nice work here. Go ahead and take your weight down. Shake out your hands if you need to. We're gonna take our hands behind our legs and we're going back, tuck your tail under, roll just off your tail and your sits bones. We're just gonna do a little crunch with the arms helping. This is to start engaging the front body by the front of the ribs, but it's also to start stretching your back body. So can you think about creating more space here between your ribs and hips? Maybe if you can get there with your imagination, more space between each pair of ribs. Yeah. Woo! This is something that I had a little illness a couple weeks ago and I strained some ribs from coughing and it's tight. So sometimes doing a little bit of activation like this can really help. 4 more. 3, it's always something. 2 and 1, hold it there. Let's roll down all the way. Take care with your spine. Reach your arms back overhead, big stretch. Circle your arms around to your thighs, curl chin towards your throat, and then help yourself up to the top. You can use your arms ongoing if you need to, or you can release them. Take them down, circle them around, pull them back up to the top. We've got 3 more like this. Keep breathing. Press through your pelvis, your lower, middle, upper waist, your rib cage. We're avoiding the arch of the back as we're down, and then we're pressing through those connection points to lift up. Gravity is your friend here. So the more you push down with it on the way down, the more connected you stay as you reach, then the more you have to press against in order to help yourself up. All right, last one. Big stretch. Circle it around. Reaching all the way up, good. Roll down to your back. Arms come down by your sides, walk your feet in. Let's bring your right knee up to tabletop, flex it and stretch it up, point it and pull it down. If you wanna hold on to the back of the leg to get a little extra support, go for it. We'll do 2 more of these. Good, excellent. Last one, hold it up here, ankle circles around in one direction, and then in the other direction. Good, all right, remember those connection points on the mat. Let's reach our foot nice and long. We're gonna draw a straight line down to hover off the mat, and then a half circle back up. Ideally, everything stays still. Let's go. Reach it down, make it about the leg. Press strong into your supporting leg. Press strong into your pelvis, your shoulders. Keep everything calm and open as you let that leg make its circle. One more. Reverse direction. Take it out to the half circle and fold in the hips. Find that crease. All the way up. Good. Around and up. Around and up. One more time. Excellent. Pull the knee into your chest. Let's simplify. Both hands onto your knee. We're gonna hover the opposite leg off the mat. Curl head and shoulders up. Feel the difference between the bent knee and the lengthened leg, and switch legs. Slow to begin. I want you to feel the stretch as you go. Look right to your belly button. Exhale to deepen. Good. Last one, slow, picking up the pace. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull both knees in, lower down, and lower your first leg down, stretching up to the top. With the other one, bend it all the way down. Spread those toes as much as you can. It's not easy in the winter months to spread your toes. They tend to be freezing. Good, lifting up. Bending down. If you're watching this in the summer, now's your chance to give a little gratitude. Now's your chance to go, thank God it's warm. Good, one more time, reach it up. Hold it there, ankle circles. Holding on to your leg or not. Just about 4 in one direction, moving as many bones of your feet as you can, and then reverse. Good work. All right, ready for our circles? Straight line down, half circle around and up. If you are more familiar with the Pilates syllabus, you're probably already doing your own leg circles. You can do any size of leg circle you like. I like to give some freedom to my hips, and that's why we spent some time warming them up. One more in this direction, and then reverse. Your goal in leg circles is to make it about the movement of your femur bone, your thigh bone in your hip socket. Again, about 85% of what we're doing is juicing up the joints. The other 15 is strengthening the muscles around them. Not really. I think there's a little more crossover. My math is off. Last one. Bring it up. All right, hold it straight this time. Take your hands behind your hamstring, your calf, your ankle, whatever you need to do to curl your head and shoulders up, and then extend the opposite leg long. We're gonna take a little pulse, 2 pulls, scissor the legs. Pulse, pulse, scissor. Pulse, pulse, good. As you pulse the thigh towards your head, keep your upper body still. We're not head banging back and forth, right? Keep that focus down, pressing through the pelvis, reaching and catching, so you're working the leg back to your hands. It doesn't matter if you're not going as far as mine are, it's okay. You wanna maybe you have to curl up to get it a little more. Challenge yourself, good. One more each side. That's it, last one. Good, bring your knees into your chest. Big breath in, big breath out. Rock yourself up for a moment. Choose a weight, a 10, an 8, a 5, nothing, fists. I'm gonna go with this guy. I'm going to regret that, no, I'm just kidding. All right, we're gonna do a little weighted roll down. Little different, press your arms up over your head. For those of you familiar with the Pilates studio, think of this as doing roll downs with the push-through bar on the Cadillac over your head. We're gonna keep that weight up as high for as long as we can, all the way down to here. Now, we're gonna curl our head through, reach the crown of your head up through the circle. Try to get that weight up as high as you can and as vertical as you can as soon as you can. So we're keeping it up, we're keeping it up, we're keeping it up, keeping it up. Deep breath in, press through your ribs, chin to the throat, reaching through the crown of the head, keeping those arms long. I know it's not easy. Good. Let's go 2 more times. Rolling down, coming up to the top. That's it. Last one, rolling all the way down. Trust yourself. Exhale, lifting to the top. Bend your elbows. Let's go ahead and why don't you put that weight down in front of you. Let's take our legs nice and long. We'll go into spine stretch. Just as a side note, when I first started Pilates, there was no way I could do the getting up off the ground, and there was no way I could do it with a weight in my hand. So there is no shame in using your hands or not using a weight or trying it out. You gotta choose what's right for you and continue to approach the challenge from a mindset of curiosity, maybe possibility. Sooner or later, as we start to stretch and engage, we start to get better at these skills, and that's what they are. Let's reach your arms forward, lift up through the crown of your head, and spine stretch forward. So we're rounding up and over an imaginary ball, reaching past our toes, feeling the stretch from the tip of the tailbone through the crown of the head. So can you lengthen the distance of that arc, and then roll all the way up to the top, reaching nice and tall, lifting up. Exhale, stretch through, find it. Remember that little lift of your ribs in front, long neck as you come back through. Paying special attention to roll up in the area between your shoulder blades. Let's go one more time. Lift, we're creating space, and then we're bending and reaching. There's a fold in the front of your hips. There's a stretch from your tailbone through the crown of your head. Good, and then roll up as if you're rolling along a very tall wall. Come all the way up, arms reach out to a T, rotate to face me, and then we take the front arm to the outer edge of the front foot and we pop our shoulders every single time. And then roll up. It's that thing, let's go to the other side. There's a meme on TikTok or Instagram that says, I don't understand why my body pops like a glow stick but refuses to glow. I feel that. Let's reach it through, all the way through. Rolling up in the same way we did during the spine stretch. Good. Now that you're kind of feeling this engagement, let's start to consider what we're reaching for. So is it your foot? I don't know, it's not too motivating. Is it the future? Maybe that's what you're reaching for. Good. Coming all the way up. Reach, 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 right through your arms, rolling up through the center, come all the way back around. All right, let's take that weight out of the way. We're gonna come up into kneeling again. And because I know what's coming, I'm choosing a smaller weight. So this one is either best done body weight or maybe a 3 or a 5 dumbbell. We're gonna do it on the knees. In the event that you don't wanna be on your knees, you can stand up and mimic the shape from up at the top, okay? So we go out with our left leg. We always wanna pull our pants up at this point. And we kneel on our right. The first thing we're gonna do is press our hips forward. So we're not bent, we're not at a hinge angle. We're really using the hamstring and the glute to move the hips forward. Take that weight into the right arm, if you're mirroring me. Hold it here. And then with your other arm, take it behind your head. Are we ready? There's a lot of steps. So we're gonna take a side bend over. Don't fall, don't let this hip go. Keep reaching this hip down. We're gonna side bend over. Once you're there, you're gonna reach your arm out. You're gonna pull it back with your shoulder blade, and you're going to lift back up. You probably already felt it, but here we go. We reach it over, we reach it out, we pull it in, and we reach down with that hip. Over, reach, pull, vertical, side bend, reach, in. No Santa, but more snow, my goodness. It's gonna be one of those days. Stretch it out, good. I'm sure the beach at Hilton Head is feeling pretty nice right now. Great. For 4, reach, in and up, and 3, good, in and up, and 2, stretch. You know we're gonna add on in the last one. Hold it over, go out, stay here. Go out and in, go out. I know we start to feel it here. Keep your shape, breathe into it. 3, 2, come all the way up, and good. Before we go to the other side, come on down, lower that weight. Let's sit to the left side, hold on to your right ankle, or come into a little Z sit like so. And let's just stretch out that side. Yeah, reach for something, open up through your fingertips. Big breath into that side. I think I see Joy joined us. Hello. Good, reach your hands over and just hang back from your knee for a moment. Feel your back stretching open. Big breath in, big breath out. All right, let's come up to the other side. We're in the home stretch, everybody. Weight in the opposite hand, press your hips forward, bring your leg out to the side, hand behind the head, bend your elbow. Let's take it over, reaching out, pulling it in, and come up. Here we go. Over, reach out, pull in. This one is kind of like unassuming because you don't realize how much work you're doing in your flank steaks. Yeah? Says the vegetarian. The side oblique muscles and others as well. But it's a little bit of a sneak attack, yeah. Good. Over and reach. We wish the heat would turn off because we're getting warm. Good. And lift. Let's go. 2 more, 2 more. Reach it out. Pull it in. Last one. Here we go. Out and in, stay here. Reach and pull and reach and pull and reach. You got 2. Last one. And lift. We felt it. Bring it all the way down. Sit down to the other side. Let's take our stretch up. Big breath. Good. Excellent. All right, let's come all, we didn't do that one. Let's do that one. I'm on to the next thing. All right, we are going to come onto our stomach. Here we go. Reaching all the way down, opening up those hips. I like to give a little roll to my sacrum for 2 reasons: to get my hips flat, also to just let that lower back release, because there's a lot of compression that we do. Let's take one hand over the other. Let your feet be flat and from the tops if you can. We're gonna start just reaching our legs long, and then reach them so long that it feels like your tailbone is being tugged to that end of the mat.
Okay, so we reach our feet long, we feel our tail lengthening. Maybe we feel our belly getting lighter on the mat, maybe it lifts off the mat. Either way, you want to feel a real direction of reach backwards, and then we're going to lift those legs off the mat and on. I want you to concentrate on feeling your thighs move up and off the mat, or just get lighter on the mat is okay too. Doesn't have to be huge. I want you to do the best you can to avoid compressing your lower back, just so we can concentrate on our legs, yeah. And lower. Good. Up. And lower. Let's do 2 more. Lift. It's hard to find sometimes. Sometimes my knees want to bend to do the action. Yes, good. Now we are going to give the knees a chance to bend, so we're going to bend them up. We're going to bring our heels together. Same feeling of that flat pelvis against the mat, long lower back. We're going to squeeze the heels, just lift the knees and lower, and lift and lower. It's a little glute work here. Good. Lift and lower. Reach through those knees, up and down. Stretch. Good. If you see Santa in that train, you have to comment. It's just exciting. It's just novelty. It's not unlike these circles. It's the same train, it just has Santas on it. That's all. And I've never been on it. Go for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. Lower all the way down. Take your legs wide. Did we feel that? We felt it. We did. Take your arms wide so your body's making a big X. We're going to press down through our left hand and our right leg. And on the opposite side, we're going to do the best we can to lift our right arm off. I'd like you to do a thumbs up as you lift off. So a thumbs up, and lift the left leg off too. Hold it, and then lower all the way down. Other side, thumbs up on the left, lift the arm and leg, the other one stay down, and lower down. Thumbs up on the right, lift it up, lower all the way down. Thumbs up on the left, lift it up. Good, lower all the way down. Thumbs up, lift, and lower. Thumbs up, lift, and lower, and stay. All right, we're going to finish this little sequence with some swimming. So let's go thumbs up with both hands. Hover everything off the mat as best you can. Lift your right arm and left leg higher. Lift your left arm and right leg higher. And switch. And switch. Keep it slow for me so we can really concentrate on what's happening in your body rather than just like a lot of splash, okay? If you're feeling good in your shoulders, you can let your arms reach longer, you can let your fingers reach longer. Good, good, that's it. Let's go for 4. I know, I don't like them either, but they are very good for us. We're eating our veggies. 2 and 1. And good. Take your hands under your chest, let your hips release. Little swan coming up through the center, back bending as much or as little as you have today, and then lower all the way down. Feel your shoulders slide away from your ears. Feel your neck getting longer. Let your heart shine forward. Let your hips open, your belly open. Look at the snowflakes all the way down. Good. Let's go again. Reaching long, big stretch, all the way down. Last 2. Good. And last 1. I don't like to get too picky on the swans. I like to have you feel what you need there. Go ahead and press your hips back, because a lot of times we just need to explore that motion. Yes. All right. Go ahead and get ready to get yourself up. Let's tuck our toes. Let's come back into that forward fold, or choose a strategy that gets you up off the mat and rolls you up to vertical. Good. All right, we are almost there. To finish up, we're gonna do 3 balance challenges, but they're not what you think. It's not about standing on one leg per se, it's about weight shifting. And these are the 3 strategies that
we really can benefit from most in the winter. So if that workout was good for you and you're done, I love you. I'll see you later. If you can be here for a couple more minutes, stay with me. These ones will really help. So I'm gonna pick up a circle, a heavier one. I'm gonna do a little crisscross over my chest. So I'm making my torso heavier. And then our legs are about hip width distance apart. You could call this a deadlift or a good morning, well, almost. But basically we're doing a hip hinge. So we wanna fold in our hips to a flat back, and then we wanna press from the back of the hips to come forward. So we're folding to find a stretch, and we come back up. This is called a hip strategy. So let's say that someone, bumps into you from behind, and one of your choices, keep going, they bump into you and you go, whoa. Strength of hips, strength of legs to hold on, strength of feet to the ground. So this is the good stuff. Yeah, this is the good functional practice so that your body remembers, hey, I know what to do when I'm moving forward. I know how to connect in. If you're practicing these, we're gonna do about 15 of them, which I think is enough for today, considering everything else we did. But if you want to do more, you can always do a couple rounds of 15, 2 or 3 should suffice. If you feel nothing after 3 rounds, then either go slower or hold a heavier weight. Good. Let's say that is 15 because I have no idea where we are. All right, so that was a 10-pound. I'm gonna lower this one down and I'm gonna go ahead and use a lighter weight in this one because now we're gonna work on an ankle strategy. So we're just gonna take a lunge and press the weight forward. It just goes forward and our weight will go forward as well. We wanna keep the back heel down. Again, another strategy is to be able to fold at the front of the ankle. So if you slip or you are pushed or bumped or whatever, you can fold at the front of the ankle and you're not stuck falling forward, but you can catch yourself, okay? So let's just try a couple of those. Pressing the weight forward for a little extra challenge. If it's too much, keep it into your chest. So we're just going forward, feel the back foot, pull back to it and alternate. Feel the back heel down, pull back to it. Feel the back heel down. So these are really good strategies. Not only for those of us in the ice, anybody who has balance challenges, anybody who's looking to get a little more confidence in their stance and their ability to shift their weight on and off center. They're many times overlooked. But when you have hip and ankle strategies, you're really in a good place, yeah? Good. Excellent. One more each side. Good. And awesome. All right. Our last challenge, I'm gonna go with the triangle because I can. We're gonna do a squat because we just have to. We have to keep squatting. We don't squat for buns of steel. We squat to sit down and get up. Let's just keep it real around here, right? We don't want to have to use assistance forever. If we need it, we use it, and that's beautiful, but we have assistance available to us in our legs, so let's work that assistance. We're gonna go down for 2. We're gonna come back up for 2. Now we've done a lot of joint warming up, so I would like you to see if you can, I'm gonna cross them this way, if you can go deeper, press up. Yes, challenge yourself for those ranges. And full real talk, full disclosure, I don't like this. I'd rather not. But you know what I do like? Walking up the stairs with confidence. And as somebody who's had some surgeries, it hasn't always been that way. So we work on the squats. We use fun shapes during the squats. We put on a good beat in the squats. We do it with community. We smile through it. We don't have to like it, as long as we recognize the benefits of it and it's not causing us pain, okay? We've got 4 more. We're never asking you to suffer, but sometimes to challenge. Good. And then my feeling is, if you got 90% of the stuff you look forward to and 10% of the stuff that you know you need, we're doing pretty good. Just keep the balance on the good stuff, on the stuff that your brain likes to do. 1 more. I know, guys. All the way up. Very, very good. All right, YouTube. Thank you for joining me for this very mashy up of movements. I hope it felt good for you today. Hi, everybody. Stay tuned for Monday next week. We're going into another bounce session at 10 a.m. Central Time on Monday. I will look forward to seeing you then. Leave me a comment. Let me know how you like this. I've only been streaming for a little bit, so I'm still trying to suss out what is most meaningful for you and also what gives you a good indication of my work. So maybe we can play more together over at Jenna-Zaffino.com. In the meantime, don't forget to ask yourself the question, why did this movement matter to my life today? Don't let it pass you by. Take 2 seconds to consider it. It'll help download the message that moving your body is important to your life, okay? Oh, perfect timing. I'll see you next time. Bye.